9 FM. And I'm kind of excited. It's a beautiful day in the city. And I think yesterday, that Sunday, was the last Sunday of the summer. So, the weather is about to change. It's about to become football weather. This is a sports show. But I'm okay with that. But I'm mainly excited because we have a special guest in our studio. And our special guest today is Kimberly Brown. So a little tidbit is Kimberly is doing stuff in her own right. She's an actress. She just walked a runway in New York. She's a football player. I know there are some more things that I can add to the list, but also her father is Jim Brown of the Cleveland Browns, the former running back extraordinaire, Hall of Famer, Mr. Cleveland Browns, all of that. But we have Kimberly here with us in studio. We're so excited to have her. We've had her before, but we got her again today. Kimberly, how are you today?
I'm well, Rachel. Thank you so much for that introduction and bringing me back here.
Yeah, super excited to have you back. So, Kimberly, tell me, what have you been up to? The last time we caught up with you, you had just completed is last night in Miami.
One night in
One
Miami.
night in Miami. I'm sorry about that. You had just completed that movie and it was starting the show. What have you been up to?
Since then, I went back to football.
Okay.
Yes, so I started playing for the Los Angeles Temptations,
Okay.
and because they cut it for the last 2 years due to
Oh,
COVID, and sorry, I had to take the headphones off.
that's okay.
Thanks. So they cut it for the last 2 years due to COVID. So they brought it back this season. And so instead of playing for Atlanta, which I did back in 2019, I went and tried out for the Los Angeles team and made that team.
Okay, congratulations. And what position do you play?
I played defensive end.
Okay.
Yeah, I come
And
off the edge.
okay. And how do you like playing football and following in your father's footsteps?
I love it. That's the reason why I got into playing football in the first place was because of my father and what he did on the field. So to follow in his footsteps and do the same thing is just amazing in my heart. And I believe it makes him proud.
What do you say when people say women can't play football and things of that nature? Do you tackle them?
No.
I mean, you should.
I would if they did.
Yeah. I was having a conversation with my dad last night and we were talking football and we were on the subject of Deshaun Watson and him coming back and the form that he's going to be playing back at. And he was like, "You're a woman. You don't know. You've never played the game." And I was a little hurt by my father. I was kind of stunned into silence. We have these, I like to think I know a lot about sports. I host a
Yeah.
sports talk show. He know that. I like to think I'm pretty proficient in it, even though he's absolutely correct. I've never played the game. I've never tried out for the women's professional leagues or anything like that. So yeah, I haven't played the game. But I was like, seriously, Dad, how could you say something like that to me?
Yeah.
So I was really surprised by that comment. We've had about 1,000 conversations about sports.
Okay, gotcha.
So I wouldn't say, well, you tried out for Cleveland Browns and didn't make it. So maybe,
Did he try out for the Cleveland Browns and didn't make it?
yeah. So maybe you shouldn't be talking to me about not playing the game if you didn't play yourself.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So yeah, I was a
That's
little,
a good one to keep back, yeah.
put off by that. So what else are you doing? You said you just walked the runway in New York, so
Yes,
you're into modeling now and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I've always been into modeling since I was a kid, but it was last year that I got back into it. I did a show, the Rick Rhodes fashion show in Fort Myers, Florida, and then these two opportunities came up to be in New York Fashion Week modeling show. So I was very blessed to be the opener in Fenari, New York's runway show, and then I was the closer in Work It Out runway show.
Okay.
It was back to back. It was like super hectic. So I went from one show to the next.
Mm-hmm.
So it was super cool though. Loved it.
Okay, awesome. So, what is coming next for you acting? Because I know after your movie, I know this isn't going to be the last movie for you.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I do have a focus on a lot of things, and I am the person that just waits on God to reveal those opportunities. So, with that being said, me and my new partner, we're going to be working together on a movie. I believe that's going to start shooting probably at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any hint? Any tidbit? Any? Yeah, no comment. You
Yeah,
mum
no
on that.
comment. Yeah, I
Oh,
can't say right now.
okay.
Yeah.
So anything I missed, because I know you are a jack of all trades and a master of them all.
Oh, thank
Has
you.
there been anything that I missed that you got coming up?
Oh, well, of course. I always have to talk about Daughters of Legends.
Okay.
So, Daughters of Legends is a show that I created in the reality show genre, and I have to say that because it's not a typical reality show. It's more of a docu-series, docu-follow. But it's myself and Robin Charles, the daughter of Ray Charles, and we joined forces on the show to come together to make a difference in this world. And it's really about our humanitarian work and as well as our activism.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm wearing the shirt today, which is the 1967 Muhammad Ali Summit that was here in Cleveland.
Yes.
So the whole premise of the show is that how my dad called all the top Black athletes to meet with him in Cleveland, also with Carl Stokes and some other gentlemen, to back Muhammad Ali in not wanting to actually exercise his civil liberties and not be drafted into the Vietnam War. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing the same thing as my dad called them. I'm calling the Daughters of Legends. So that's really, it's another powerhouse, and it's about us women being stronger together than we are apart.
Now, that Cleveland Summit is a very famous moment in history. Did your dad face any backlash to that by calling all those athletes together on that cause? Because that was obviously something that was very controversial back in the day. Mm-hmm. And I support Muhammad Ali's stance about not going to war and things of that nature. But did your dad face backlash after calling that summit?
I don't know, so I can't really say on a comment, but I can just, state my opinion. I would think that in the Black community, of course not. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't think that he would get backlash for standing up for a fellow friend and speaking to him. And that was the thing. They actually had a meeting and spoke about his stance, and they were going back and forth. So you definitely have to wow, there's a couple of documentaries that you can watch that my dad was a part of. I believe one was The Summit. I think it's called The Summit. And then also Cootie, he did an Ali documentary as well, and I believe he touched on that in his. But they had a meeting to discuss his stance, and most of the other gentlemen went to war. They were in the military. That was the normal thing back then. So they were over here saying, okay, well, why don't you want to go? And they had to understand that it came from his religion. Mm-hmm. So once they understood that, they were able to band together. And that's why it was taken all the way to the Supreme Court, and Ali won his fight, and he did it legally. Mm-hmm. So, and that's, what America stands for is freedom, it's freedom. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, so Daughters of Legends, it's us too. I have another group of wonderful ladies called Daughters of Sports, and it's 4 of us, and we are sports related. So our mission is to help with having sports camps, nationwide sports camps for girls to get into sports and have training facilities and hold camps and train them and teach them.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So right now, in the works of pitching the show, selling the show, um, and in talks with a few people. But we'll see where it goes.
Well, if you ever want to pitch a show about women in broadcasting, I'm available.
For sure, I got you.
So, just so
You just
you
gotta let me
know,
know the story.
we'll talk about that offline.
Yeah.
But I got
Yeah.
plenty of stories and stuff like that. I'm like, my life should be a reality show. But yeah, we'll talk about that
Yeah, I like
offline.
the whole yeah, we could definitely think of something. We can
Yeah.
definitely think of something. Yeah, I've been actually more creative. I've been thinking about more ideas. Like Daughters Legend is not the only show I have. I have a couple other shows that I've been pitching as well. Um, this one is like straight phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a political show, but it's a political reality show.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can't wait till somebody picks that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have your own production company as well?
I will.
Okay.
I will. But not at the
Awesome.
moment. No.
I love it. I love everything you're doing. It's so amazing to see everything you're doing and just how you've entrenched yourself and, taking advantage of all these opportunities. So that's a wonderful thing. So I'm super proud of you. You repping Cleveland, Atlanta, and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So all the traveling you're doing, I know it has to travel. Texas too?
Texas too, baby.
Okay. I know all the traveling has to tire you out. So you're based in Atlanta, but you're in Los Angeles all the time, is right?
Well, I was in LA a lot this year because of that I was playing for the LA football team. But no, I'm actually probably be leaving here to Cleveland, go to LA. It's been a while.
Okay.
So you get to go home.
And how did the Temptations do this past season?
Well, it was 1-1. We only had 2 games this season. So from COVID, we normally have 4, 2 home, 2 away. So they cut that down to 2 games this year. So it was 1-1 score.
Oh my.
Yeah. But I didn't play for the I didn't play the second game.
Okay.
I became a free agent at that time, and I started working out with the Austin Sound. So next year, I'll be with the Austin Sound.
Okay. Yeah. So there was no championship or anything like that?
No, but I do want to give a shout out to the Chicago Blitz for winning the X League Cup. Yes, they won it this year. They went head to head with my old team, the Atlanta. Well, they're called the Atlanta Empire now. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was a good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And, I'm super excited about women's sports. I was just watching a commercial the other day showing some kids, young girls, playing football or whatever. And one girl was nice. She was like dodging everybody and everything like that. She was going up against other girls. I can't remember necessarily what it was, but I'm like, she's going to be real nice one day because I imagine the future with more sports leagues for women and more football teams and things of that nature. I imagine, maybe a women baseball league, possibly, a league of their own on Amazon. So I picture that possibly there could be a women's baseball league one day.
Oh, no, that's crazy that you say that because I actually created another show with my partner, Columbus Short, and we have a show similar to that. So that we're working on. So I'm glad that you mentioned that because we need something out there like that to show women's sports and the different sports that they do. So, we can get sponsorships and we can start getting paid to play instead of paying to play. Mm-hmm. So we do need to make a difference in that. But also, if you follow Jen Welter on Instagram, she does nationwide sports camps for young girls in football.
You said Jen Walter?
Yeah, Jen Walter. I think it's under Welter something. WELTER. She hosts nationwide football camps for girls, and she really supports that movement because Georgia, my state, just became an official sport for flag football.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So flag football is huge, but I think that there could be a pathway to college and then to the professional sports for women.
Yeah.
Because every man that I talk to that watches my league, which was formerly the LFL, Legends Football League, but now it's called the X League, they say we hit hard, and we do. So,
That's what I was saying. If somebody ever said to you, "Woman can't play football," you might have to like give them a little lick and show them
well,
what's
of
up.
course, but nobody's ever said that to me. Maybe they're
Okay.
too scared already.
Yeah. I think
I
they know better. They know what's up. They ain't trying to get hurt. So,
Yeah.
I keep my mouth shut too. Some people know better.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go ahead and take our first break. We're here with Kimberly Brown, and we'll be right back. We're listening to her and on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
I felt like I was slow on delay. Yeah, it was like me talk. Like it was like I felt like I was talking like I was retarded at first. I was like, wait, I can't talk like this. This is not gonna be
Okay, so you hearing it too?
Yeah.
Where they at? It's weird because I feel like I'm like slurring my words.
That's how I felt. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I was like, there's no way I could do this. I have to just take this off.
Okay, there we go. I wonder if it might be better if I did that. We gonna see.
How do you stay like this?
I understand. Hopefully when I get back on it don't do that. So you got some more shows coming out. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's
so
what I'm
exciting
on right now.
Yeah.
That's gonna I've been having some really great meetings and stuff. So God has really been blessing me.
Good.
Yeah. So I just can't wait until it's
yeah, ready to go.
Ready to go.
And everything gonna be like
exactly. And that's what I want. I'm ready. Well, actually I'm not. I need to get in the gym.
You look fine.
We look in the gym first.
All right, welcome back to Her and the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. I am here with Kimberly Brown, daughter of NFL legend Jim Brown. She is in the house with us, but like I said, she is a force in her own right, and we was talking about her career. But right now, we're about to get into some Cleveland Browns talk. And Kimberly was at the game yesterday, and so was I. And, it's just one of those things. When the Browns lost yesterday, it's just, okay, this is very Brownsian, and, it is what it is. So, you watch 70,000 people walk out of a stadium very angry. It was very quiet. Normally there's "Here we go Brownies" cheers and things of that nature, but there was no cheering. There were a lot of cuss words and a lot of angry people that left out of that building yesterday. And Kim, as a football player, what were your overall impressions of the game?
I thought we had him.
Yeah.
I thought we had him.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought they had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. Remember that meme?
Yeah.
Exactly. I ain't even gonna lie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we had him. It was like that end. I felt like, my honest opinion is, I felt like they thought so too. Mm-hmm. And they thought that there was no way for them to come back. And they didn't put in, 100% of that effort. And it's all about effort. Mm-hmm. So I think, and I think that happens a lot with the Browns, where they're up, they get excited, mm-hmm. And then they think they have it, and then the impossible happens, mm-hmm. which was yesterday.
Well, we kind of saw this last week as well. So now we're setting a trend. We're seeing that busted coverage. They get a lead, and then they allow teams to slowly chip away and come back. And you just can't have that. You cannot think that the game is automatically won because you have a team that's up against the ropes. They want to win too. This is the NFL. You got grown men who, they come out there to collect a paycheck as well. They want to win the game, and they're not giving up. And you can see that the Jets played to the final, whistle, and
Yeah.
they believed in themselves. And one of the things is, Joe Flacco knows the Cleveland Browns very well, even though, it's a completely different roster than when he played with the Baltimore Ravens. It's still Joe Flacco, and he's kind of owned the Cleveland Browns. So, I'm not surprised that he played to the occasion, and he's a veteran quarterback,
Yeah.
and he saw some, coverages in which that he can exploit, and he absolutely did. And like you said, you mentioned it about being effort. The effort wasn't there at the end. The effort wasn't there, at the end against Carolina. And I'm scared that this is setting a trend that this team is not playing to the end because they believe that they can sit on leads. And yesterday, being there at the game, we're all excited. We're thinking that this team is looking good. They're doing good. They were able to get a bigger lead by 13 points. I hadn't even realized that Kay York missed the field goal. I don't know what I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he had missed the field goal because at the very end, I'm like, if they get a touchdown, they could possibly win, because I hadn't realized he missed the kick. I don't know what I was doing at that time. But, I've always talked about how critical and important special teams was, and how important special teams was going to be this year. And, special teams won us the game last week. And it was one of the components in which it lost us the game last week. So I think it's very important that you mentioned about the effort and those defensive breakdowns. And that's just something that you can't have. So how do you think Jacoby Brissett did yesterday? Well, Jacoby had a great game. So I got to pull up his stats. Yes. But he did everything that you needed him to do. You needed him to be a game manager, so he managed the game for you. He only had one interception, and that was at the very end. And Jacoby Brissett was actually a surprise. He was actually a surprise because, I looked at him as one of the weakest spots on this team. And Jacoby, I just, I've said, I'm sorry, I love him, but I don't think that he is the person that's going to get this done. And it's going to be a long, now 9 more games. It's going to be a long, season with him being at quarterback. But yesterday, he made a lot of good throws. He made the proper reads. He was able to analyze coverage. He was able to do the same thing that his counterpart Joe Flacco was able to do. And I was kind of amazed at how well he played.
Yeah, I think he did well. Except for at the end.
Yeah, and if we did win that game, the story probably would have been Jacoby Brissett plays an amazing game, and it would have been good for him, for his confidence, and you could see Kevin Stefanski trusting him a little bit more. Trying to pull up these stats.
I just thought it was our defense, really.
Yeah,
it was our defense.
It was absolutely our defense.
Yeah,
it was our defense last week. It was our defense yesterday.
So what's going on with that?
One thing is they're not talking, they're not communicating, and like I said, I think you mentioned the effort. They think that they have these games won, so they can play lax coverage. I heard that they either play I forgot what it was called, but they play a 3. Or a 4, and I'm not the down lineman. As far as the defensive scheme goes, I can't remember what the schemes was, but one was a 3 and one was a 4, and they were in the wrong scheme. And you saw that the safety initially, and just like last week, the safety initially picked up the receiver, but then dropped him off too soon to Denzel, and Denzel was behind. So that's one of the things that happened last week as well, and it kind of happened again today. Yesterday. So that's something that needs to be corrected as far as when you're dropping that man off to your help. Mm-hmm. So the safety initially picked him up, but let him go, and then he got behind Denzel, and that was just he was gone. Yeah, and you saw a beautiful pass play. And you saw the same thing where they allowed Baker Mayfield pretty much to come back as well. So you saw that last week. So you're seeing a duplicate performance. So there needs to be some corrections by Joe Woods, and a lot of people are blaming Joe Woods as well. Being the defensive coordinator, not necessarily making the proper calls for defense, and not seeing what he needs to be seeing in order to coach the players properly so they can be in better defensive position.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So, that's going to be an issue going forward because the schedule only gets harder. They play Pittsburgh on Thursday night.
Yeah,
so
I'll be at that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I won't be there. I'll be watching at home.
Yeah, I'm staying in town just to do the back-to-back home games.
Okay.
So, yeah,
okay.
I'll be there.
Delvis Valentine of WOVU will be covering the game for us. But they have to have a quick turnaround and a quick memory because Pittsburgh.
Need to get back to work.
Yeah, because even though Pittsburgh, the Cleveland Browns are a 3-point favorite on Thursday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're a 3-point favorite, but you get a couple points for being the home team, so I think that's why.
Okay.
But even though Pittsburgh has quarterback issues, Mike Tomlin will be chomping at the bit because he owns the Cleveland Browns, and we have to be honest about that. So he's going to have his team ready to play, and one of the things is their defense. TJ Watt is not playing, but their defense is pretty stout. Yesterday they lost. I forgot who they lost to, but yesterday they lost, so they're 1-1 as well. So everybody in the AFC North lost yesterday. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
Baltimore had Miami come back. Miami looking kind of good.
Yeah, Miami. Yeah, I did see those highlights.
Yeah, so they came back on Baltimore. So we play Miami this year too. So that might not be a cakewalk.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think we played Miami and Miami as well.
No, you play Miami too?
Yeah, we play Miami.
I know you guys play Ravens.
Yeah, but we play Miami. We played them this season, and I think we played them in Miami because I think the last time we played them here in Cleveland.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure we played them in Miami this time. But they're a team that we play at Miami November 13th. So they're a team that seems to be real.
November what?
November 13th.
Oh man, I might have to take a Miami trip.
I think so too.
Right? Okay.
I think that'd be a great game.
Yeah, I think that November, man, I wish it was in December. It'd be perfect for Art Basel. But
for Art Basel?
Yeah, because Art Basel's in December in Miami.
Okay.
If it was like the game and Art Basel, that would have been a double win.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Miami. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
how did they look in the preseason? Because I wasn't really watching it, but how did they look in the preseason?
The Browns?
Yeah.
I think they went 2-1 in the preseason.
Okay.
I think.
But was the pattern that you're talking about that's happening now, was that happening in the preseason? Could you identify it at that time?
I don't think so. They didn't have the first teamers in there. So this is something that's going on with the first teamers.
Okay.
With Denzel Ward. So, and there's been a little controversy. I think Denzel was maybe a little mad. Somebody pointed out how it was his play and busted coverage. And he kind of was like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't me. It was somebody else. So you can't have that in fighting like that right now. So it kind of feels like it's already not failing, but people are already at each other's throats. Miles is talking about, the fans booing and stuff like that, and I'm like, I think you need to be a little bit humble. I'm like, I wasn't one of the ones booing, but I can understand why fans were booing because you had the opportunity to go up 2-0, be 2-0 for the first time since 1993. I don't like telling my age, but I was a freshman in high school in 1993. Wow. So, the first time since 1993 that you've been 2-0, that you've had 2 wins to start this season.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but that's absolutely pathetic. So fans, and you were up 13 points with a minute left. A little, and it's just to watch them come back like that, score a field goal, get, a deep pass play and come back like that. I mean, people were just literally stunned. And some people had got up when they were out 13 points. People had got up and laughed.
Yeah.
So they thought it was over.
Yep.
So the stadium was half empty.
Yep.
And then, you watch, the Jets not give up and realize, hey, there's still a game. And I don't think they care about the fans leaving, but they realize we could win this because we're seeing some of the things, we're seeing your tendencies, what you're doing and what you're not doing. And we're going to exploit this. We're going to exploit your defense, just like Baker Mayfield did last weekend.
Okay.
So, that's when they kind of went to work. And, kudos to the New York Jets and Robert Saleh, who is a new coach. I think this is his second year coaching the Jets. But, they came back. And, at the end of the day, more power to them. So let me try to check out.
Can I say this?
Yes.
I wasn't mad.
I wasn't either.
I wasn't mad. I thought, it was maybe I was just too excited to be at the game.
It was fun to be there. Home opener.
I was just like,
it was fun.
I'm at the home opener. I'm here. Yeah.
I'm kicking it.
And then so they lost, and but I understand. I understand the loss. So, but I know that they can come back. They definitely just need to get back. In the lab, for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
That defense, like they need to be in there every day. They should have practiced right after that game. I
out there doing gassers.
We gotta go figure this out because we got a game on Thursday. Oh no, we can't be looking like this. Tell the wife and all them you're not coming home.
And have them out there doing gassers too.
Dude, I would make
they
them
got gas
run.
at the end.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I would tear them up.
Yeah.
I would tear them up. If I was the coach.
Yeah, they got gas at the end. So, at the end of the day, they didn't do what they needed to do. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. All right. There's no time. They fix it.
Oh my God. I don't know these people's names. I was like, the quarterback. Oh yeah, I know him.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Girl.
I was asking people this, and I'm like, what is our quarterback's name? Nobody could answer that damn question for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah,
we're all Cleveland posers. Because we live here and our family is here. We're like, Cleveland, yeah. But it's based on loyalty. That's what it's really based on. But I didn't know. I kept asking people like, who's our quarterback?
Mm-hmm. It's Jacoby Brissett, girl.
Where'd he come from?
He's a free agent, I believe. He and where's Jacoby from? Yeah, okay. So he didn't play for the Patriots, the Colts, and the Dolphins, and then he came here.
Okay. So he's just here until Deshaun comes in.
Yeah.
Well, you better earn a spot.
All right, 20 seconds. Listen, man. All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with Miss Kimberly Brown. And always want to mention, but like I said, she is a force in her own right. Jim Brown's daughter. So how is your dad doing?
He's doing well. Thank you for asking.
Good.
Yeah, my dad's getting older.
Yeah.
He's old. Older. I say older, but yeah, my dad's 86 now. So, I like to spend as much time as I can with him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he's doing great. He's doing wonderful. Still giving me wisdom, still giving me advice. So I love that.
Awesome. Glad to hear he's doing well. And was he at the game yesterday?
No,
Does
he
he
wasn't.
attend games still?
He
Or?
used to. I don't think so much. Not so much anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
But I
right.
know he's always watching.
Mm-hmm. Did you talk to him about the game yesterday and get his thoughts?
No, I haven't had a chance.
I'm like, I almost don't even want to know what he's gonna say. I could imagine, being a Browns alumni, pretty much being upset with that effort, at the end of the game. Oh, so yeah. I can understand people being upset about that. But what are your thoughts about the offense? They were Jacoby Brissett. I have his stats up here. He went 22 for 27. He threw for 229 yards and 1 touchdown and 1 interception. So Jacoby pretty much played, a great game. He had plenty of time to throw. He actually did run for some yardage as well when the pocket collapsed on him. Yeah. So he is not a running quarterback. He's a pocket passer, and it's so funny. One of the reporters in town said, "I don't want to stereotype him," because he was like, a lot of people expect Jacoby to run all the time because he's black, but he was like, but he's not a pocket passer. But he was like, people expect that out of Jacoby. Why isn't he running the ball more? Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. It was kind of true. But yeah, he's not a running quarterback. So he had a couple of runs, for critical first downs as well. Your running backs, Nick Chubb, and we
definitely did great in the run game.
Yeah, he had 17 carries. He ran for 87 yards and he had 3 touchdowns. So that's one of the things that's controversial. So last year, I believe it was 2 years ago against Houston, he ran out of bounds at the very end of the game for the Browns to win the game. Where he had the opportunity to score, and he ran out of bounds, about like on the 3-yard line or something like that. And the Browns were able to win the game. So some people are saying that he should have ran out of bounds again and let the clock run out, and the Browns would have won the game. But instead, he went for his third touchdown. And I'm kind of a little bit torn because I see people's strategy, but you still had 2 minutes left to go in the game. So,
But I don't think the Browns were even thinking like, okay, we're up 12 points. Like, let's just run the clock out. I don't think that's their mindset. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, who would think that you're going to come back with 12 points, like, in less than 2 minutes of the game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think anybody thought that. The Jets thought that, though.
But after the fact, you're coming up with strategies that could have worked that you expect the Browns to know at that time.
Right.
Yeah, so that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, so offensively, they looked pretty good. Amari
Nick
Cooper, he had a great game as well. 9 receptions, 101 yards, and a TD. And the stadium was saying Coop, so I guess that's the new thing now. Calling him Coop.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but I can't say enough about Jacoby Brissett and the performance that he had yesterday, which is kind of overshadowed by the loss that we had. But Joe Flacco balled out. Joe went 26 for 44 with 307 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
So he had a heck of a game yesterday.
Yeah.
So give him a little bit credit as well. And
I don't really want to.
Yeah, I know you don't, and I don't want to as well. But Joe did his thing. They
I was gonna say he got the job done.
They called him Unflappable Joe Flacco, and he kind of came in and did what he does best against the Cleveland Browns, and they were able to win the game. So it's just. The Cleveland Browns have a lot to improve upon because they have a tough test coming up. Mm-hmm. They have a divisional opponent, and they're coming into town, and they want another win. So
I think they need to send out a social media post that says anybody with a Cleveland Browns jersey report to training camp so we can go see what they're doing.
Show up at 9 a.m.
You know what I mean? We're like, wait, what is going on? We're like, we need to be coaching.
I saw that meme with Jerry Jones at the Dallas Cowboys. You have Browns jersey.
Report.
Show
I'll
up.
be there. I got 2 Browns jerseys, number 32. I'll be there.
Let me borrow one. I got a busted knee, but I might be able to get in there and make some plays.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shoot. Let me get on the field with them.
I don't think I have busted coverage. Hey, you might be able to. Like you said, report.
They're men. I'm a woman. You know what I mean? I don't want to be with the dogs.
It's
like
about
real
skill,
dogs.
though. It might not be about brute. It might be about skill at this point.
Okay, maybe skill. Okay, yeah. Just I'm not tackling you, and you're not tackling me.
So one time,
let me just run the ball.
So one time at this job I had, the guys would meet up for football on Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, they like, you should come play. They knew I was athletic and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna show up. So I showed up ready to go. I showed up in my cleats. Mm-hmm. I showed up in my lacrosse gloves because I used to play lacrosse and wear gloves. So I showed up in my gloves, so I'm ready to go. First play, girl, I think I was knocked unconscious. I think somebody did it to me on purpose.
Oh my God.
To show that I shouldn't be playing with them. Oh my God. I just remember getting up and just walking off and not playing the rest of the game.
Oh my God.
Yeah, somebody
happened to me.
Somebody knocked me unconscious on purpose.
Oh,
so
no.
Yeah, I think it was really foul.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of upset about that. But
did that keep you from playing ever again?
Oh no! Yeah, I never played ever again after that.
Damn.
Yeah, I never went back. So
damn.
Yeah, no, I never went back after that. So for like one play, it was a good time.
Okay.
And then after that, it was over. So.
Well, I started football in my late 30s.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
Your late 30s.
Late 30s. Yeah.
Because you only look about 30 something.
No.
I'm not gonna have you tell your age, but for those of you who are listening and watching, Kim does not look a day over 31. So I don't know about late 30s around here. So I'm kind of shocked by that.
Thank you. Yeah, so I started my late 30s. So it's never ever too late.
Good, and it's good that your knees are held up too, because that's one of the first things to go is the knees.
Yes.
Al Bundy with the water on his knee, Polk High School. So the knees are the first thing to go. So I'm glad that your knees have kind of held up what they needed to
really
do.
Good. My body's really, really good.
That's
no
good.
Injuries, no anything. So I'm on defense. So I don't really expect to. I do the hitting.
Mm-hmm.
So I get hit, but actually, I didn't tell you. My coach is looking at placing me at running back. This upcoming season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you follow your dad's footsteps?
Yeah, for real. This time with that position and tackle.
Okay.
Because I normally play for flag. I played the 2020-21 year, both of those years as a running back in flag, just to start training as a running back. But then my coach gave me a call and he was like, "Hey, have you ever played?" I was like, "Yeah, for flag." And he was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna need, a running back for next season." I was like, "All right, cool.
That's awesome."
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
I can't wait to hear about you smashing records.
Seriously, I want to be a beast on that field as running back. I want to be like my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to hit people while running the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I have a feeling you'll be very successful at that.
Yeah,
the cutback. There you go. And she's gone. Yeah. And she's gone. That's all they need to know. So let me ask you this. So one of the things that, special teams, we know how important it is in football. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, special teams, they failed to recover an onside kick.
Yep.
And, the chances of an onside kick being successful is less than 10%.
Wow.
And the Jets executed it to perfection. Mm-hmm. And that was the reason why they got the ball back.
Yeah.
And they were able to win the game.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? And then we had the missed field goal. So, you were able to get a 8-point swing pretty much with the missed field goal and the onside kick. What are your thoughts about, special teams failing us?
Yeah, that was pretty hard. That really changed the game for the Browns. And, all I can say is they need to get back to work. That's all there is to it. Maybe they got their offense, But special teams and defense is what they definitely need to work on.
Mm-hmm. Now, Kay York hit a 58 yarder to win the game and missed the extra point yesterday. So, that is something that he will come around. I fully believe. And yesterday, I was telling people around me, at the end of the game, like Kay said, just get him to the 40, get him to the 40.
Yeah.
And like he said last week, and unfortunately, Jacoby Brissett threw that interception.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that they were going to get to the 40 and they were going to have him try to win this game again.
That's what I was thinking. That we were gonna get it. We were gonna get it back. And I was like, if they can do that in less than 2 minutes, we can do something in 12.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, and then get the ball running out of bounds, stop the clock some more, and then bring on our kicker.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't. And, here we are today analyzing what went wrong and why it went wrong. And we're going to go ahead and take our final breaks. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back. All right, we only got 15 minutes left. Are you okay with that?
Okay, what are we going to do?
We're going to talk about can we beat Pittsburgh? If you have any takeaways from the game.
Can we beat Pittsburgh? I don't know. Don't ask me that. I'm no loyal Cleveland fan. I don't know. The Steelers. But I want to know what their rivalry is.
How bad was the loss to you? Is this a breaker of the season?
No.
And I might just do a little Guardians, probably like 5 minutes.
Well, you can come on and just question me off, like, well, Kimberly's gonna be leaving, and then you can take it for the next 15 minutes, and then just ask like, how can people follow you, find you?
Yes, definitely.
We can take the rest of the 15 minutes.
It'll pass. This time will pass fast, hasn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Real quick.
And it's like super cool because all football stuff. I can't speak football lingo yet.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
no, I can't.
It's just keeping up with the Browns.
It's like I came from zero football, so I've only been in for 4 years. So I'm learning even more. So just this past year, I know my position now, my position. Then also last practice with the Austin team, I started learning how to read the offense. So it's slowly coming.
Okay.
About everything. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more. Before I felt like I was like, I didn't know what was going on. But now when I watch football, I know what's going on. Good. But I don't have the football lingo yet.
Good. All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I have special guest with me, Kimberly Brown. And we've had some comments, and I'm so sorry, you guys, that I haven't read off some of the comments, but I appreciate you guys watching and listening and commenting as well. So sorry about that. I see your comments though, and Ricky Smith, we don't believe in a ghost Steelers, so you can go ahead on with somewhere else with that. Thanks, John, for saying Jacoby came from the Patriots. Ricky says the Commanders' entire coaching staff sucks. So talking about the Washington Commanders, they come unprepared to make adjustments and have an adequate game plan every week. So that is the NFC East for you. So appreciate you guys commenting as well. And always remember that you can keep it locked right here on your regular radio dial at 95.9 FM. You can listen to us online at WOVU.org. You can download the WOVU app, and you can listen to us on the go. And anytime you ever want to contact the station, you can at 216-271-0959. So let's get back to the Cleveland Browns. So Kim, want to ask you, what was your opinion about the coaching? Did you like what Kevin Stefanski did and the game plan that he had yesterday? Were you a fan of that at all?
I can't really tell you. Um, I was just looking closely at, the execution of what the players were doing. Um, and obviously, our defensive coordinator wasn't really doing his job.
Joe Woods, she's talking about you.
So, but, you know, I think overall, like I said, I think that they did a great job. They did a great job. They had a great game. They started out strong and they just gave up at the end. So I would have to say Kevin did his job.
Mm-hmm.
He did his job. He executed with the correct plays. Like I said, I don't know what the defensive coordinator was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, absolutely. And, when they first come out, those scripted plays that offense has, they came out and they scored on an opening drive. They pretty much had to go the length of the field and they were able to do that. And they pretty much looked good. It seemed like it kind of took forever, though, for them to get that first scoring drive out the way. But when they did, it looked great. The Jets started off with the ball first. They weren't able to score. The Browns got the ball. And then the Jets got the ball back. And I believe they scored on the next possession to tie it up. So it kind of was, what could have been considered to be a close game. And then the Browns, blew it open at towards the end. But unfortunately, it's just crazy because the Cleveland Browns just squandered a lead again for the second week in a row. So there definitely needs to be those adjustments made on the defensive end so this doesn't continue to happen. So Joe Woods is going to have to get in there, get back in the lab, as you said, and work with this defense to make sure that.
Yeah, because I was looking at the DNs since that's my position. I was looking at the DNs a lot, and I was just wondering, I'm like, what is going on? I don't see, but I saw like one sack the whole entire game.
Yeah.
Is that true? It was like one sack?
I can check on that. I know Miles had one.
Yeah, and then I saw the DNs going in the middle. I'm like, what are you doing? It left the outside open. And so he was able to roll out and throw the ball.
They got to him twice. So Jadeveon Clowney had a sack and he's out. He left the game. He left a facility in a walking boot. So he probably is not going to be playing on Thursday. And Myles Garrett had the other sack.
Okay. And we're talking about 2 sacks.
Yeah, and the Jets got to Jacoby Brissett one time, so that's good. So there was a 0.5, half a sack for Quinnen Williams and Carl Lawson on Jacoby Brissett. So Amari Cooper, I don't know if I said he had 9 receptions for 101 yards. The average was 11.2 yards a catch, and he had 10 targets. So that's pretty good. Only one ball didn't get to him. And one of the things that I noticed too was that Jacoby Brissett's throws were a lot better. They were on target last week. A lot of them were down towards the ground, so the receivers had to get towards the ground to catch it and go low. So I noticed that, he made some adjustments to his throws and they were able to catch the ball and stride and things like that. Also, Nick Chubb had a great screen. I know that's something that he said he was going to work on, being able to catch the ball and go with the ball. And he had a great screen, a great catch and run yesterday. So, I was telling the people that was sitting around me, like, he said he was going to work on that, and he's improved. So, when they want to run those screens, that's going to be important because they have to be creative because, defenses are going to stuff the box. And that's one of the things that happened yesterday. But, they were still able to have success with that as well, him and Kareem Hunt. So they were able to have success against the Jets defense running the ball. So that was a great thing, and that was important. But at the end of the day, it was a moot point. So Garrett Wilson from Ohio State had a great game for the Jets. He had 8 receptions for 102 yards and 2 TDs as well. I know, but he went to Ohio State. He went to Ohio State though, so it's like I wasn't rooting for him. I wasn't rooting for him, but he had a great game. I wasn't rooting for him, but he had a great game for a rookie. So he kind of balled out against the Browns. So he had 2 touchdowns. So hats off to him.
Okay.
Come on, Kim, man. You know I went to Ohio State. So we got Pittsburgh coming up.
Yeah, well, he left Ohio State.
I know. I'm glad he was drafted though, and
Yeah,
I don't root for him against the Browns at all. But you
yeah,
know,
like
he had a great game. You know, he had a lot of key receptions, and he kept them in that game. So, you know, good for him. So, can we beat Pittsburgh on Thursday night?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, yes, yes. I could say that more confidently if I knew the Browns were at work. You know what I mean? If they've been practicing, if they've been doing this, then I would say yes. They would, they would have to do everything they need to get done.
I think they only have one practice left.
One practice?
Yeah.
One practice.
I think Tuesday. I think
That's
Tuesday.
it. They're only getting in there Tuesday.
Yeah, because I think
to play.
Because are they all
us women?
Or
no,
maybe
seriously,
or
they
maybe,
work us.
It might have been today. I know that there's a day that they don't practice on, and it might have been today.
What?
No, they practiced today because they gave press conferences. So they practiced today. I think that they have Tuesdays off.
Why do they have any days off? I don't understand.
Look, I don't know. They get paid.
They get paid millions of dollars. And you're telling me that I'd be like, we're in here every single day to beat the Steelers.
Well, they only work 6 months out the year, so.
Yeah, what are they getting the millions for? I don't understand. Like, if I just lost the game, you know what? They work us women way too hard in my league then. Like, this is crazy because, like, I be traveling just to go to practice and make sure that I'm there. You know what I mean? Like, we get it in. You know what I mean? Like by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we can't have a losing. Oh my God, can you even imagine if we lost Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I'm gonna be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be pissed.
Yeah,
I'll be pissed on Thursday.
Yeah, well, I definitely think that they can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they have to come better. They have to come correct. And, offensively, I think they did everything that they needed to offensively.
Yeah.
It's on the defensive side of the ball is where the game was lost. And also special teams. Those are going to be important key factors. So, if they make the adjustments and they tune up, they can go ahead and win those games. So, Kim, how can people follow you? How can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Kimberly.B as in Brooke .Brown.
And you on Twitter as well?
Not really.
Yeah, Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Twitter.
I need to tweet. And do you have a Facebook fan page as well where they can follow you on Facebook?
Be Kimberly Brooke Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But my activity is on Instagram, so.
Awesome.
Yeah. You can follow me there.
Okay. And then just a quick.
And you can also go to my website.
Oh, okay.
daughtersoflegends.org and check us out.
Okay.
Fill out the information so we can send you some information on us and keep you updated.
And then you got more projects down the pipeline and things of that nature. So people need to stay tuned and keep following you and watch out for everything that you have coming up next.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Rachel, for having me on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always fun to have you as a guest.
Yes, always love coming to Cleveland and being part, of the city.
You're welcome anytime to come stop by. Great. Always.
Thanks.
I'm glad. So that's our time. So that was a quick hour. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we are out of here.